proud of Mike.
Well,
even though he was all hopped up about Jerry Lee Lewis this afternoon.
Well, hey. It's pretty funny. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, go over and like and subscribe on Facebook. The idiots at Facebook have blocked us from...
Again?
Yeah. Well, no, it's just like a blanket block. So it's like...
Again?
Yeah. So anyway, they've blocked us, and we will keep pushing forward. So if you would, share this on Facebook. If you know people who are interested in property taxes in Jasper County, you might want to tune in. So, because we've got plenty to talk about. Would you say that much? So, we've got just a few more minutes, and we are moving forward with this process.
Close.
If you guys are upset about property taxes in Jasper County, you're listening to the right show. So we're actually going to take away all the property taxes and bring healing to the sick and feed the poor. So there's that. Let's see here. I do have to make an apology, so I got to write that down.
Oh.
An apology. Yes.
Oh.
That happens.
Oh. Is Ms. Sharp making you do that apology?
Ms. Sharp.
It's not?
I got the whip on that.
Oh.
So.
Oh. I thought it was something else there.
I just hope she's not tuning in on YouTube right now.
Okay.
All right. So we've got just a couple.
I know my wife is. My wife is probably listening right now.
All right.
So I'll have to behave myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, shoot us a message, just a text message, I guess, through YouTube or whatever, and tell us that you can hear us and the audio's good and all that stuff, because we want, it's Alicia, right?
Yes.
Okay. We want Miss Alicia to be able to be loud and clear. So, anyway, having said that, buckle up. Here we go. Here we go. I wish we would get something better than that. That's what I wish.
I thought we were supposed to have headphones in here.
When he says something like that, it's normally a year or two after. Let's see.
Well, I mean, dead in a year or two. The way things are going now.
That's a statement I read.
Is that online anywhere?
Yeah. On mine, I don't know if it's on anywhere else.
Send it all to me.
Okay.
Don't get too far into the weeds. Keep it simple. We got to remember these people are hearing this for the first time.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Doing it all on his phone. Young grasshopper. Working it out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, please. You are listening to Not on the Payroll right here at 107.3 FM KJAS. Man, oh man, what a wonderful world we're living in. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing?
I had 98 degrees. I can't take it much more, man.
I'm enjoying the high level of heat and the, if it wasn't for the temperature and the heat index, I wouldn't know how to be here in Southeast Texas. Nice and sultry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Jay Sharp. I'm sitting here with my co-host, Carrie Thomas. We're here with you every Thursday night, 7 o'clock, talking about some of the things that you want to talk about. But the truth is, we talk about a lot of the things that you don't want to talk about either.
That's true.
So, religion and politics is the name of the game. And tonight, we're going to be touching on some politics for your
Economics.
Economics.
We're going to call
politics.
it that, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. For a guy like me who graduated and dropped out of college, economics and politics all kind of falls in the same bowl. So
Actually, it does, yeah.
Having said that, we have a guest with us tonight. Miss Alicia Davis. She's sitting in with us. We appreciate you for coming in and taking some time out of your schedule with us.
Thank y'all for inviting me.
Well, I tell you what, we want to tell you about some of the people who help us keep this show live. And that is Stuart Glass, Lakes Area Pawn, and Auto Salon. Stuart Glass, if you need any of your glass taken care of, as far as your vehicle, as far as your trucks, cars, man, here's the deal. If you got a Hot Wheel and it's got glass on it and you want them to take care of it, maybe your kids broke it up or something. Who knows? They can fix all that.
Your wife got mad, kicked out the front of your windshield.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
That happened to a friend of mine this week.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think I saw that on TikTok. But nonetheless, here's the thing. Stuart Glass, I can hook you up far as your house or your vehicle. If you can hear us, chances are they can come to you. Stuart Glass has always been a supporter of Not on the Payroll, and they are a supporter of First Amendment rights and Second Amendment rights. Not only that, unfortunately, they were in the news today, but Lake Area Pawn had a break-in this morning. And here's the thing. This is not how you go to Lake Area Pawn. You wait till they open up. You walk in the front door. You greet the people. Stealing things is not the way to do this, because here's the deal. If you went and stole from a pawn shop, guess who visits pawn shops a lot? Policemen do.
The police
do. So you can guarantee that you're probably in some big trouble here before long. So here's the thing. I've got a whole lot of faith in the city of Jasper PD to find the perpetrators at large and bring all our guns back. That's the best bet you got right now. Bring all those guns back. So here's the thing. Lake Area Pawn, help them out. Get down there and check out what they've got. They've got everything, man. They've got everything from tools and instruments to weapons, guns, ammo. One of the things that caught me off guard when I was in there the last time was the fact that they do have ammo. If you're looking,
that's shocking.
You're having a hard time finding ammo.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you're having a hard time finding ammo, go over to Lake Erie Pond. They can hook you up. Also, Auto Salon. They can take care of all of your detailing needs. So we've got a glass company, we've got a pawn shop, and we've got an auto salon who can take care of all the detailing that you need on any of your vehicles if you have a big truck or you have a little bitty car.
And they do state inspection. And that, like I says, in this county, sometimes finding a state inspection place is hard. They do state inspections.
So having said that, we want to thank our sponsors, but we want to thank you guys. We want to thank you guys for listening and tuning in. I do want to take a moment here to address something serious.
Uh-oh.
A lot of times what we say and do on this show is a little bit tongue-in-cheek and a little bit, how would you say, whimsical, okay?
No.
So having said that, I want to address a certain group of people in this community who have a problem or I'll just say it like this. It's been brought to my attention that some of the grandmothers in the community have had an issue with some of my language, maybe our language.
No.
And so having said that,
no.
I'd like to just put some context in this. All right. Here's the context. Number one, if you're a grandmother out there, and I have a grandmother, she's a little Southern Baptist lady, and up until the time she got dementia, she was singing in the choir. Okay, loved it, loved her role, the whole 9 yards. Classic little Southern Baptist lady, awesome lady. She has forever been on my behind, I think is how she would put it.
Yeah.
She's been forever on my behind about my language. And to be honest with you, it's one of those things that I really can't say I'm giving a valiant effort to working on. But here's the thing. I do appreciate the comments that, sometimes our language gets a little out of sorts. And here's what I'll say. I've met some of your grandkids out here. And to be honest with you, They're saying far worse. And so I would just encourage you that when you have a grandkid, there's kind of a double-edged sword. You look at them and you think, how lovely. And then as they grow up, you're like, wow, I wouldn't have done that.
What happened
So
here?
here's what I'll say. I'm just going to go out on a limb. But all of the ladies in Jasper, Texas, who are 65 plus, I am now considered your adopted grandson in this community. I'm your adopted grandson. So I'm the grandson who is a college dropout. I do work for a living, and I'm trying to do the best I can with raising those kids and teach them how to have better diction than me.
All 14 of those kids you got?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. Work with me a little, pray a lot, and maybe you and Jesus can get it all figured out, because I'll be honest with you, I'm doing the best I can with what I got, but at the same time, I'm gonna make a valiant attempt to curb some of my redneck handling
Isms
of my communication. So having said that, I don't want to belabor the point, because we do have Miss Alicia here, and we do not want to stifle anything she's got to say. But here's what's cool. Here is what's cool. We are here in Jasper, Texas. My forefathers called Jasper, Texas, the land flowing with milk and honey. Now, I'll be honest with you, and that's about 3 or 4 generations ago. They penned that.
In the book of Exodus? What?
No, I'm talking about they penned it to my ancestors.
Okay.
And over in Ireland, everybody piles up in Ireland is like, the land flowing with milk and honey, grab the kids, get the dog, we're getting on the next boat. Okay? So they head out.
This is coming from somebody who's been to Ireland. You know?
They head out. They come up through Galveston. They get up to Jasper and was here about 6 months. And going back to the heat and the heat index, they panicked and they said, "You've brought us over here to kill us, God." And so what did they do? They retreated to Village Creek and started the first ferry on Village Creek. Now, having said that, if you're wondering who my relatives are, the Cooks. If you've ever heard of Cooks Lake Road, that's my people down there in that neck of the woods. So here's the thing. We are here in the land flowing with milk and honey. I'm starting to wonder if some of the honey hasn't soured, but at the same time, I know this. Whenever I looked at my most recent appraisal and my corresponding taxes that I'm responsible for,
and you don't live in
Newton County.
You don't live in Jasper County.
It made me want to throw up.
Well, same thing with us. Myers went up considerably in Orange County.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and I grabbed my chest, because I was expecting the big one, as Fred G. Sanford would say.
Y'all better hold on to your drawers, because I bet they ain't got nothing on Jasper County.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
So having said that, that was my segue. The land flowing with milk and honey, and now it's the land flowing with taxes and appraisal problems. So, having said that, Miss Alicia, if you would just introduce who you are. Because I found you on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I was noticing that a page was running around called, what is it called? Eliminate Property Tax?
Eliminate Property Tax, Jasper County.
Okay. And I found you on Facebook and then tried to figure out how to get you in here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And some people are scared to come in here, but you're not. And so I appreciate that.
I'm your Huckleberry.
There you go. So tell us where you're from, where you live, and a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Magnolia Springs, in between Kirbyville and Jasper, and I'm a hairdresser.
Okay.
That's
just so a business
lady, business person.
Yeah, right.
Some have said you're just a hairdresser. Well,
you're a business person.
There you go.
There you go, right there. And I'm trying to save Jasper County.
Where'd you go to school?
Kirbyville.
Went to Kirbyville.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so you're trying to save Jasper specific to taxes.
Right.
So we were talking before, and you brought up something specific to your own personal property.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about that, specific to the property you guys currently own that you pay taxes on.
Well, my land's been in my family since 1857.
Okay.
And I mean, dang if I'm going to lose that to property taxes.
Okay.
You're speaking about, your amendments earlier and your rights. Well, which one of those do you think y'all want to keep renting from the government?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to pick and choose which one of those we get to rent?
Right.
Because those are supposed to be our inalienable rights,
Right.
Those aren't supposed to be infringed upon, but people forget about that personal property.
Sure.
Right.
That's our right. That's our God-given, constitutionally protected right.
Okay.
Well, they forget about that here in Jasper County.
Okay.
People are being taxed out of their homes.
Right.
These multi-generational properties are few and far between anymore,
right.
Because people can't afford to keep them. It's sad. It's gotten out of control. At this rate, in another 5 years, the entire county is going to own everybody's property because nobody's going to be able to afford it.
Sure.
Small businesses are going to be extinct because, just like a couple that spoke at the Jasper County, the Appraisal District Board meeting the other day, their taxes went up 600% this year.
In 1 year.
That's just
It's
mind
crazy.
blowing. That's
is.
mind blowing.
Especially with everything we just came out of.
Sure.
Right.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Right.
There's no explanation for it
Right.
at all. And something's got to be done. And that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm here, because our elected leaders have refused to listen to us.
Now, and here's what's interesting. That's on a local level.
Mm-hmm.
That's on a local level.
Yeah.
So now I do know you have a petition going on right now. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have a petition, and you can go to change.org, or you can go to the Eliminate Property Tax website, or you can go, not the website, the Facebook page, or you can go to my personal Facebook page. Lots of people have shared it. And per our constitutional right, we are petitioning our local government to do something.
First Amendment, right.
And it's a shame that it's got to this point, but, we're fed up and we got to do something, or we're going to be living in a car.
Yeah, we risk losing generations old property.
Exactly.
Okay. So tell me this. Now, I'd heard through the grapevine that you went down and you actually spoke to or you presented your case to the Jasper County Appraisal District. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how did that actually go? Matter of fact, you actually have your speech.
I do.
Would you like to recite that so that
Sure.
the people can know exactly what you took to them? Because here's the thing, I would like the people to know after you're done there, exactly what the reception was.
Okay.
Okay.
And I will explain why I did this, because the board of directors, they're responsible for the guidelines and the procedures of the appraisal district.
Okay.
And
so you were speaking to the board of
I'm
directors.
speaking to the board of directors, and you have your board of directors and your the chief is there, and the office manager is there, and then there's a handful of citizens there.
Okay.
Not very many.
Sure. How many citizens do you think showed up to that meeting?
I think there's about maybe 10 of us
10.
altogether.
Okay.
Not too many.
Was that in the morning when this occurred?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
9 o'clock in the morning. That's a big part of it, because there were a lot of people.
A lot of people got to work.
That wanted to
Yeah.
come, but
Got to work.
9 o'clock
yeah.
in the morning, most people are working.
Right.
So they don't make it accessible to the working public.
No, sir. I think that needs to change, and a lot of these and on other CAD websites, they'll post these meetings on their websites. They'll post their agendas on their websites, the past meetings, all that's on there. Yeah. They'll post them and live stream them.
Okay.
Well, you ain't going to get that around here because everything's, so secretive. And so, it's like pulling teeth to get any kind of information that's public information. Every bit of this stuff is public information. I'm no different than anybody else. They can do the exact same thing I'm doing. They can find the exact same things I'm doing.
Right.
Because every bit of it's public information.
So one of the things I want to throw out here to you guys is this. Whenever Miss Davis walked in today, she had her bodyguard with her. Mm-hmm. And her bodyguard was carrying what looks to be a plastic box full of 3-ring binders.
Full of notebooks.
At least full of notebooks. 2 and 3 inch 3-ring binders. Now, you can't see it because she's got it here on the floor and it's opened up and everything's here. But the truth is, you didn't just start doing this.
No, sir.
Okay.
I've been working on it for at least 3 years now.
Okay.
Solid, just digging deep. It's almost like a train wreck. Once you start looking, you just can't look away because you just keep digging and
just
digging.
Just out of curiosity, on an average week, how many hours are you spending working on this on an average week, would you say? Just an estimate.
Way too many. I don't sleep very much, so
okay.
Way too many.
Okay.
And I ain't getting paid for it.
Right.
Well, of course not.
Sure.
So
go ahead and read through what you presented to the Jasper County Appraisal District.
Okay. I'm here today to voice my concerns about the discriminatory, arbitrary, and biased actions and conflicts of interest within the appraisal district. My allegations are not personal attacks on anyone, nor do they lack merit, as I have evidence to support each claim. The petition that I have created that I know y'all have already read outlines each one in further detail. I would like for this board to explain why it's not a blatant conflict of interest for real estate investors with multiple tax deed properties with insider information to be sitting on either board, and why also there's not term limits enforced, and why transparency is virtually non-existent. The board establishes the operational procedures to be carried out by the chief, and has also approved and has signed off on every decision, the inaccurate and incomplete information, and her actions or lack of. The board and the chief also work together to establish the guidelines and procedures for the reappraisal plan that y'all chose to administer annually rather than once every 3 years as required by law. The latest one has the majority of Jasper County property owners livid with the massive increase in our market values. Some of them over 500%. If they're not livid, then they must be one of the chosen few who get special treatment, like some of y'all sitting here today. And the proof is right here in black and white for all to see. Along with some of the family members, certain businesses and officials, school board members, they haven't seen an increase, or it's been a very little increase compared to the majority of us regular folk from 2014 to present. There's even been a significant decrease on a regular basis, even on land and commercial property. And this is not due to exemptions or previous year protests. Some even have questionable and flat-out illegal exemptions like multiple homesteads that the chief has granted and that the board has signed off on. Every dollar shaved off to benefit the special folk is another dollar added to the assessments of us regular folk, to the widows, to the disabled, and the veteran property taxpayers of the county. Lastly, please show me the clear and convincing evidence, such as the actual MLS sales being used, the economic data of the county, to prove this rapid growth and newfound prosperity within the county that supports these new market values. Last count, our population had decreased, not increased. The housing demand and supply crisis has not hit us here. Our market values on our homes are not determined by increasing demand in other parts of the state. Even if it were, we're not lacking in availability of real estate. Commercial, residential, vacant land, rentals, it's all available. And by the recent MLS transactions for Jasper County that I have, JCAT has more than missed their mark on their assessments. And this entire scheme is nothing more than an attempt to defraud the taxpayers.
Wow.
and I'm in everywhere with it.
So, just out of curiosity's sake, you mentioned that school board members were not getting increases or very smaller increases. Was this all of the school boards? Was this Jasper, Kirbyville, Una, Evadale, or just just one school district?
No, sir, I will tell you, everything that I have, everything that I say is because I have factual evidence
you
on
can
it.
look this up, yeah.
It's not every single school board member.
Okay.
It's some from every school board.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
You know, I mean, there's going to be, it might be one, it might be three, it might be five, it might be all of them on some certain ones.
Right.
And the more you dig, you keep looking and you think, well, they've got grown kids. What kind of property they have? Well, I'll be dang. Look at their assessment. Theirs ain't going up. Theirs has decreased $25,000 where mine increased $25,000.
Yeah.
You know, it's very eye-opening once you start looking.
Right.
You know? And this is somebody sitting on every board in this city, county, whatever.
Right.
I guarantee you it's that way. Every board member, ARB member, you look at their families, and I'm telling you, you can pull the map up and compare their properties with their neighbors and everywhere else. There's no comparison.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So that map, how do people get to it?
On Jasper CAD website.
Jasper CAD?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically go to the Jasper County Appraisal District's website.
Yes.
And you can go all across the map.
Mm-hmm.
You can see who's...
Mm-hmm. All the values are there. You can look up the text, and then they have up there in the top little left-hand corner, it'll say map. Mm-hmm. Click on that. There's little parcels. You click on that parcel, it's going to be, say you pull yours up, it's going to tell you everything about yours. Go to the next one, click on it, it'll open in another window. It'll tell you your neighbor's property.
Okay.
So you can compare.
So you need to be able, okay, that's a huge tool right there.
Yeah, you can do that for all 254 counties.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing is this, I mean, that's a huge tool if people are trying to see how they're getting screwed.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, you got your protests coming up. You know, that's something they need to look at and use. You know, you can print that off and, you know, use that for your comparison, because those comparables that they're going to come up with, they're going to cherry pick those to come up with that number that they want.
Right.
And it might be 5 miles away, 10 miles away, or whatever. Well, don't accept that, because
Right.
that ain't your area. That ain't your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, so tell us this. You know, one of the things we were talking about beforehand is that you know, favors and kickbacks and things that you have proof on. Mm-hmm. So, just give us a couple of examples that just some that come to mind of some. You know, obviously, if taxes are reducing or decreasing for people, that's somewhat of a kickback or a or something along those lines. But you don't have to. We don't have to get into the names.
Yeah, don't
But
mention
just
names.
just the situation,
Well, you know,
allegedly.
The thing is they say they don't get anything from being on these boards. Well, that's bull.
Okay.
Because, for one, you have some of the same ones that's been sitting on there 20 years, back and forth between the ARB or the regular board. Well, they may not be coming out, you know, with the paycheck.
Sure.
But they're coming out
They're
with
keeping
their
money in their
property.
pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so are their kids.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you've got one ARB member that...
Now you're saying ARD.
ARB. I'm
ARB.
sorry.
Yeah.
ARB.
No, that's
Excuse
fine.
the draw.
Yeah.
And what's
It's the appraisal review board. ARB.
Appraisal
Right.
review.
And
Okay.
just for instance, and this is just one example, you know, this in particular individual is so, I don't know how you call it, he's got the gall to go around, you know, bragging that he's on the board and he doesn't have to worry about his taxes, and neither does his family. Well, that's pretty obvious, because when you pull up the map, most of his stuff ain't even on the tax roll.
Wow.
And it's
Whoa.
it's undervalued. It's pretty eye opening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is it's public information for everybody to look at. They just got to take the initiative to do something about
To go
it.
look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the reason why they keep getting away with all this is because nobody's saying anything about it.
Right. Okay.
You know,
well, we are now.
Yeah, we are now, ain't we?
You know, this just came to me. This has been going on, 30 years that I know of. You know, let's say 25. When I first went to work at Buna schools, it was well known. Certain people didn't pay any school taxes.
Yeah.
And if they're not paying school taxes, they're not paying any other taxes. And it was well known, and they bragged about it. And this was, 25 years ago.
Part of the perks.
These were just
Part of the perks.
folks.
Yeah.
Folks,
And the thing is,
if you know what I mean.
Right.
you know, when we back to the meeting, the board of directors, they can't really say too much while you're there, but they are very quick to tell you you're griping at the wrong people. We don't have anything to do with this.
Right.
And
But they're the
that's
ones
where they're wrong.
They're the ones that are
wrong.
making the appraisal, though, aren't they?
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you right here, and this is a court ruling right here.
Right.
And the board examines the appraisal records to determine whether the appraisals are substantially uniform, an exemption is improperly granted, land is improperly granted a special appraisal, the records do not conform to the requirements of law in any other respect. Texas law states that an appraiser's job is to appraise property at its market value equitably and uniformly. However, if there's a conflict in taxation at market value, then equal and uniform taxation, equal and uniform must prevail. The board is responsible for those appraisals. They're
Sure.
responsible for those inaccurate records.
Right.
They're responsible for the chief's decisions, and they sign off on every single thing. They sign off on dual homesteads, and they sign off on kickbacks and
How many
whatever, whether they know it or not,
Right.
because they're probably not paying attention, because
Sure.
the meetings that I've went to, it's obvious they can care less why they're there, because very little questions are asked,
Right.
and it's basically whatever the chief says.
Okay,
goes.
so who is the chief?
Lori Barnett is her name.
Lori Barnett?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lori Barnett. Okay, so here's my question. You went, and I'll be honest with you, I'm actually impressed with your speech there. What was the response?
Not much of one. They didn't give much of one.
Did they even
There's a
say
lot of
anything at all?
looking.
Did they even say anything at all?
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you for your speech. And
No, they said you're griping at the wrong people.
Right.
You need to get the legislature off their butt, and that was their exact words. And then the comeback to that is the legislature didn't do these appraisals. The legislature didn't tell y'all to go up 600% on this person,
Yeah.
or this person, or whatever.
Well, and it goes back to what you're talking about talking about fair and equal.
Exactly.
Kind of looking at that as a whole. I mean, we were talking about this earlier as well before the show started, but we were talking about how does this change, okay? So everybody's trying to push this forward from a Texas legislature standpoint, but this can be changed on a very local level, because not only is the Jasper County Appraisal District responsible, the Commissioner's Court is responsible. Not only is the court responsible, the people are responsible to get off their rear and go down there and protest.
Amen.
it seems to me that there needs to be some sort of a wholesale change, not only in the appraisal board, but perhaps somebody needs to look at running for commissioner's court.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
It's
Well, you've
where
got
changes.
two. You've got two commissioners coming into office.
Okay.
So you've got Dennis. You got Dennis Marks, and you have Holloway.
Yeah.
You have both of those guys coming in.
Okay.
So
And I wonder how much they know about this property tax
Well,
business. Did they run on this?
I would doubt it.
Okay.
I would doubt it. As a matter of fact, from my knowledge, I don't think either one of them.
I don't
No.
remember
Talked
either
about
one of
roads.
them.
Yeah, mainly talked about roads. and
Roads,
that
yeah,
type of
this
thing.
was the big
But
deal.
It's a taboo subject here.
But this is a bigger problem.
Yeah.
This is a bigger
It is
problem.
the main problem
Yeah.
here when you look at it.
Just from a nuclear, and I hate to go nuclear, has anyone considered hiring a lawyer?
Yes, sir. I've already been contacted. on it.
Okay, is he looking at doing it perhaps pro bono?
No.
Or is he? No, of course not.
Of course not.
Of
But
course not. If you
He
is he
is
from
with-
Austin?
no, sir.
Have you
His,
considered calling one in Austin that may be looking in something like this who may do it pro bono?
I've talked to several. There's a lot. You have to go away from this area because
Yeah,
the,
you
the
do.
grip
Yeah, you
and
have
the kiddo
to.
boy system is so deep here.
Yeah,
They
we
don't want to touch
under-
Jasper County.
Yeah, we understand that.
But I have one that will, and
Yeah.
he's ready and willing and waiting.
Sure.
It just depends on how many people want to get
Yeah.
off their butt and do something too. You know?
So let's push forward a little bit. So the other thing you brought to our awareness was that the difference between commercial and rural property, or like privately owned property.
Right.
And so you were telling us earlier about the property taxes of one shopping center that's at the corner of 96 and 190. That the taxes haven't went up on that location in a while.
Yeah, that's the Berkshire Brothers shopping center there that none other than Phelan Investments owns. That
So
would
you're
be
talking-
Dave
where's
Phelan's
Dave
family.
Phelan?
We're speaking of the Speaker of the House of Representatives of the state of Texas, are we not?
We are.
Yeah.
And so why would this be if you're owning a big piece of property like that? Now, allegedly, here's the thing. We got to throw out allegedly because Miss Davis has actually went out and done a lot of research, but we encourage you to go do the research and check that map. Check that map. It don't take long.
Pull up Crossroads Shopping Center right now, you'll see it.
There you go.
There you go.
Crossroads Shopping Center. Owned by the Speaker of the House, or at least
Well, his investment.
Or
his
just type in his
family,
name.
his family.
Just
yeah.
type in Phelan and it'll come up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting little piece of the puzzle. I will say that doesn't shock me. Investment firms and other conglomerates that own property here in Jasper County, that doesn't shock me at all. So having said all that, specific to the appraisal district being the engine, talk about that a little bit.
They are the driving engine behind these property taxes. If you didn't have these appraisals, you wouldn't have the property taxes because, you know, they can claim all they want to that they don't increase these taxes. But if they keep increasing these appraisals, they're going to keep coming up with more and more and more revenue, but it's never going to be enough.
Right.
Obviously, never going to be
So
enough.
you're talking about the Commissioner's Court saying that they don't increase taxes.
Yes. Probably every taxing entity is going to say that. You know, the
Right.
school district,
Yeah, they all
whatever.
will, yeah.
They're all going to say,
Yeah.
"Oh, but we kept the tax rate the same. We ain't raising your taxes."
Right.
That's you go talk to the appraisal
Yeah,
district,
that's-
and the appraisal
yeah.
district's going to say, "Well,
Get the
we don't set your
legislature.
tax rate."
Get the legislature off our back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll say, "Well, we didn't."
So
set your
everybody's
tax rate."
kicking the can down the road.
Yes, because nobody wants to take accountability. You know,
Right.
and they all tell you the appraisal district's untouchable. You can't touch them. Well, bull.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't backing down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think this. I don't think you're alone in this thing. I don't
sir.
think you're alone. I don't think that you are. I think you may be alone in the sense of the fact that you've actually poured out a lot of time and effort. And I want to hold this page up for our viewers on YouTube. If she has one page that looks like this, she's got multiple pages. written
Notebooks
out.
full.
I don't know if you can actually see that, guys, but this is notebooks full of
Yeah, here's one.
documents.
Let me see that.
Yeah, there's a 3-ring binder. That's a
Full.
3-inch 3-ring binder. she's investing a lot of time and effort into this pursuit. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think you're alone. I don't think, but here's the problem. A lot of times is that one or two people get loud, and then they get pigeonholed, and then next thing you know, it goes away.
They want something done, but they don't want to take the initiative or the time to do it,
Right.
They're busy. Well, heck, we've all been there. We've all been raising babies and raising families, cooking supper, going to practice, whatever. But you know what? What are you going to do whenever you're taxed out of your home and you can't afford any of this? What are you going to do? I mean,
Yeah.
something's got to change.
Something's got to
And
happen.
unless we change it,
Right.
they're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And
So my question is this for you: this started in a pursuit to save your family's property.
yeah, it actually did, because it's very rare that people even have family land anymore.
Right.
Right.
And to say you have it from way back when, 1857,
Right.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And my grandmother passed away this past summer, and so my oldest son moved back from, he was up around Houston area working, and he had the opportunity to buy the original home place from my aunt. And so he did that. So I'm proud of that. So
Sure.
Right.
he's got that. And that kind of fueled the flames to fire, because some of the things that happened after he bought that, and the way that the appraisal district handled all that, there was a lot of illegal things happening.
Sure.
A lot of things that she went beyond her authority to do.
Talking about Miss Barnett.
Yes,
Okay.
changing records when she wasn't supposed to, and I did a lot of calling and a lot of investigating on that to verify it, to make sure, because
Okay.
I went and had a meeting with her, and of course they're going to tell you, oh yes, I have the authority to do this, and
Right.
da-da-da. Well, I'm not hard-headed. I'm going to go check.
Sure. Sure.
And no, she didn't. She
Okay.
exceeded her authority by a lot.
Okay.
And so,
Allegedly.
allegedly, right?
Right.
And so that that just fueled it even more.
Sure.
And
Right.
so I went to digging even more. And like I said, everything that I have in that petition, you'll notice, has a legal statute attached to it, or it has a factual proof attached to it. There's nothing that's not fact-based or evidence-based in any of this.
Okay.
I'm not going to just blow smoke about anything.
Okay.
There's enough of that.
Sure. Sure.
Just out of curiosity's sake, a lot of the school districts around here have been passing bonds.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me started on what some of these school districts
me
are spending it on. How much is the increase directly related to these bonds?
I'm sure
Have
a lot.
have you done any research on that?
I've researched a good bit on the bonds. I don't have any of that here with me, so I can't say
Yeah,
anything off the top of my
That's in
head
her-
about that.
That's in her other 12.
Yeah,
Other
I told you I
12
got a
books,
whole
right.
bunch more at home. I
Because,
didn't want to
sure,
bring all
yeah.
that, but there's so much, it's hard to just say it off the top of your head, and I don't want to say anything wrong, the wrong figure, but yeah, that has a lot to do with a lot of it, and then the way I feel about that is, these people that want to vote yes on these bonds, well, let them add that to their own property tax.
Yeah.
Don't make me
Yeah.
pay for it. Don't
Yeah.
make my 90-year-old grandma pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
this bond, you pay for it.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I've been preaching this to high heaven. Buna is trying to pass an activities bond, which basically means they're wanting to improve the football stadium. And I'm sitting there going, is it worth your taxes going up how much so you can use this football stadium
Yeah.
10 or 11 times?
Yeah, Because you know
A year.
the school part of the bill is the biggest part.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
you know, and
That is the biggest part of property taxes.
it's
I tell you what. Let's do this. Let's shift gears here a little bit. If you've got something that you want to chime in on this thing, specific to taxes and your property taxes, give us a call, 384-2626, 384-2626. We want to hear from you out there. Is Miss Davis alone? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think she is. And if she is, hey, let's bring some clarity here. Because man, the only way we can bring about any change is we have got to bond together. We've got to get together and figure this thing out. Go ahead, caller. Turn your radio down for me if you would. Got a little feedback. Can you hear me? Got it too loud. Man, I don't know what the deal is there with that. All we're
Close to the mic.
getting is feedback. Go ahead, caller. Can barely hear you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, I debated the family, and I always heard that I was adopted to bring that out the first of all, and I always heard the baby the family was supposed to get the property, right? Okay, I was forced off of it, and now the property taxes are due, and people called me and said, hey, it's supposed to be yours. Why can't you pay the property taxes? Well, why didn't y'all let me pay it when it's supposed to be mine?
Man, I don't know. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, though, man. Thank you. Give us a call, 384-2626, 384-2626. Let's go back to the phones. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Is it me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I can hardly hear you. No, I'm very concerned. Both my sisters and my dad was deceased. My dad's property increased $23,000,
Wow.
and
Whoa.
my sister's doubled. And I put in appeals for those. I don't think there's much I can do about my own home.
Right.
But isn't there, I'm wondering if there's some kind of state agency that we can contact to come and investigate all this corruption.
I think that's a great idea.
You would need to contact the state attorney general's
You
office.
gotta listen. Say it again.
And I just wondered, isn't there some kind of watchdog entity that, can be contacted?
Yeah, we think the Attorney General's office is going to be your best bet. But here's the thing. One of the things I would challenge everybody with is this. Go over to the Facebook page, Eliminate Property Tax Jasper County. Go like that Facebook page, and let's pile on this thing. Let's go ahead and gather together. There's got to be a call to action, because here's the deal. We can all point at the problem, but there's got to be a call to action. And that call to action is going to require everybody to come together and make their voice heard, not only to the appraisal district, but to Commissioner's Court. So, hey, I appreciate you giving us a call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call if you've got something you want to chat about specific to taxes, 384-2626. We're sitting here with Miss Alicia Davis. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is Mike Hillen. I want to let y'all know that Alicia Davis is not alone in this.
I don't think she's alone.
I'm the founder of Eliminate Property Tax Jasper County.
Sweet.
I'm one of the administrators.
Okay.
This is Alicia. We're part of a bigger group. It's a Texas Eliminate Property Tax group started by Russell Bennett. Who
Okay.
works on our reps daily to try to get them to pass legislation to eliminate property tax.
Sure.
So I personally started out with being disgruntled with the appraisal district, and I took that to my state representative, James White, as did Alicia and Hubert, and it's all went from there. And our goal is to not only eliminate appraisal districts, we want to eliminate property tax, which will then end up, eliminating the whole system. And James White had a really, really good bill last session to do just that: eliminate property tax, replace it with a very small increase in sales tax, consumption tax.
Okay.
And it didn't get much headway. The governor blocked it off. The speaker blocked it off.
Sure.
It just didn't.
It didn't get much traction.
Turning on it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, man. And I'm just going to throw this out
That's
here.
what our group in Jasper County
That's what it's about.
is. And it has been growing the last few weeks. We're probably up around 2,000 members.
Okay.
Alicia could probably tell you for sure.
All right. Let me ask you this, man.
That's our goal. But
Does
it
it-
all started with the corruption and all the underhanded things going on right there at a local appraisal district.
Well, man, I appreciate you giving us a call. I think we're going to push for a call to action moving forward because, I mean, honest to God, we got to pull everybody together and get some sort of protest and get these petitions signed. Appreciate you calling us, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call, 384-2626, 384-2626. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Can you hear me?
You're on the air.
Hello?
Give us a call back, 384-2626. Sometimes I think we end up in a vortex.
I think so.
I don't know what it is. I think we end up in a
Yeah.
vortex, and nobody can hear us
Been
for
watching
some
Stranger
reason.
Things, haven't you?
I have no idea what that is. My kids watch it, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, a call to action is the key with this thing, because yes, you can push on the legislatures or the legislators, but you've got to be able to push on these appraisal districts and the commissioner's court. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call if you've got something you want to chime in on, 384-2626, 384-2626. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
You're on the air.
Once again, having issues in the vortex. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Not on the Payroll. Give us a call if you want to chime in, 384-2626, 384-2626. Let us know if Miss Davis is alone. I don't think she is. I think there's a lot of people mad
Here's the phone ringing.
mad as heck, I think is the term.
And let me point out too, it's not just about the people having family land.
Right.
It's the new landowners too.
Sure, everybody.
And like,
Right.
these kids, they're never going to be able to be
Yeah.
homeowners because it's just going to get to where it's too much. They're not going to be able to even pay a mortgage
Right.
with their taxes. It's
Sure.
going to be $10,000 a month.
Sure. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, is it me?
Yes, sir, it's you. Yes, sir.
You're on the air.
Hello.
You're on the air, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I just wanted to point out a couple of things. Alicia Davis knows who this is. This is Mike Smith. I'm your local justice of the peace right there in Kirbyville, Texas.
All right.
My property tax appraisal went up $52,000.
Low.
Yes, it did.
And of course, being an elected official, tax money is how I get paid. That pays my payroll.
Right.
Of course.
On a bi-weekly basis. But I mean, we're close out here at Roganville, just like they are at Magnolia Springs, on being taxed plumb out of our places.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
$52,000 is a big jump.
That's a huge jump.
Well, let me ask you this. Doesn't it make sense for the people to come together?
Full inaccuracies, just like Alicia said.
Doesn't it, Mike, doesn't it make sense for the people to come together and protest this?
Absolutely, it does.
Okay.
Absolutely, there's got to be some kind of checks and balances.
Okay.
Just like the caller that you had ahead of me, man, I've had multiple conversations with State Rep James White about,
doing away with property tax and going to that sales tax where everybody pays their percentage.
Sure.
It's not just on the working man.
Right. Okay. Well, Mike, I appreciate you giving us a call, man. Appreciate your hard work, man.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the paupers out here.
No kidding. It's
the elected officials.
The politicos.
That's exactly right.
They all pay taxes just like we do.
Yeah.
They,
Absolutely.
And whenever I'm talking about this, I'm not saying every single person is evil and corrupt,
right.
But it's a corrupt system,
Sure.
and it leads to corruption. It's,
Absolute power.
There's a whole lot of it going on, whether you know it or not.
Sure.
Or, there's a lot of people just need their jobs and they're going to turn the other cheek.
Right.
But
or they're going to turn their head.
yeah, but it's got to stop somewhere because it's just hurting the good people.
Go ahead, caller. Give us a call, 384-2626. We're talking about taxes tonight. We're talking about your property taxes. We're talking about what is the call to action. Because here's the thing. If we all run our mouth and we don't step up to the plate, and we don't show a show of force, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Go ahead, caller.
Yes, sir. This is Mike Hillen on again. I lost you here in the yard.
Okay.
Me and Alicia have been working on some of this for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, she's part of the Eliminate Property Tax Facebook group.
Okay.
That's growing rapidly. And
Yeah.
I've been kind of fighting this appraisal district stuff for many years. My dad was on that board at one time. He's passed away now, but my dad was on that board, and he's the one that showed me all the corruption that was going on.
Right.
Wow.
He's not here
and
today.
how long ago was that? How long ago was
That's
that?
how I learned about what was going on at the appraisal district and at the county level itself.
Sure. So, really, my thing is this, man. I think there needs to be a call to action. I mean, we can all sit back and get on a Facebook page and stuff like that, but the truth is we need to gather those people up. We need to go down to Commissioner's Court and to the appraisal district and need to show some level of protest.
This is a board meeting.
Do you agree with that?
Nothing's changed.
I guess we lost him again. Ladies and gentlemen, 384-2626, 384-2626. Give us a call.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Need a lawyer.
Is that with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I was just calling to say, first of all, we're super appreciative that Miss Alicia's down there talking to you guys, because she isn't making a lot of noise, and that's what this thing needs, is more noise.
Right.
Absolutely.
But from a younger generation's perspective, we are also 100% with her. That, we're taught the American dream is to, you grow up, you get married, you get a home.
Right.
And if we're not careful, we won't be able to keep those homes.
That's exactly right. And honest to God, they say sometimes once you get peace, you got to fight to keep it. And so to me, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if we don't fight to keep this thing, we've got to pull some people together. We've got to pull all of the young people, all of the old people, all of the my age people, I guess, kind of caught in the middle there. And we have got to show some level of protest. And honest to God, they are only going to respond to people standing up. They're only going to respond to people standing up. And so, hey, I appreciate you giving us a call tonight.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call. Give us a call. Give us a call. Give us a call. So here's the deal. Here's something to think about. We got another caller? All right, let's jump on to the next caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And Alicia, this is Jeff Murphy, but I got a couple of lots at the lake. I'm just giving you for instance. It's in Jasper County, and mine went up 109% on the one lot with nothing on it, no improvements, and it went from 20,000 to 41 something this in 1 year.
Good grief.
And then also I've got a 70s trailer, an older 70s trailer that went from valued at $55,000 in that lot to $97,000 or $98,000. So it's extreme, you know.
Sure.
That's the thing, you know.
They're going to get us right out with the
They're going to try.
taxes.
Well, they're going to try, but we're going to fight them first.
And look, I'm going to show you this right
Yeah,
now.
well, I just want to let you know, I mean, that's 109% on one lot that hadn't been improved.
Yes,
and
sir.
no improvements on the trailer in 15 years, and went from 55 to 98.
Sir, we appreciate you giving us a call. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
I want to point out, and this is a really, really big part of it, is this right here that you're looking at. I want you to look at this. This is a board member.
Okay.
Do you see his property has not changed from 2014?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got some proof
It
here.
has not changed at all, but you can have a widow
We got,
woman, disabled widow woman, over 65,
right.
that can go up $65,000 with nothing, no improvements, nothing. Now,
So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we got proof.
just about every property there, when you flip through,
Right.
is the same way.
We got proof right here. Here's the thing. Now, one of the things you need to take in consideration, this is something I haven't really thought about. I tell you what, callers, hold tight for us just for a second. Over in Louisiana, there's not much that we actually, Texas and Louisiana has kind of been like, bitter cousins on some days.
Oil and water.
But the truth of the matter is they have very little property tax over there. They have tax on all sales, and they have personal income tax. And to be honest with you, we might need to take a page out of that book.
I talked about the personal income tax, and basically Texas has gotten rid of it. And at the time, I was sitting there going, I'm wondering if this is going to turn around and bite us somehow or another. And in the real world and in reality, it would be cheaper for us to pay a personal income tax than these taxes that we're paying now on property.
Exactly.
So I'm just wondering, how bad we messed up here.
But here's the other part of it. This right here shows to, I won't say it's corruption, but they went 4 years with the same.
No, that's 2014 to 2021 right there, with zero changes.
No changes.
No changes whatsoever.
From 2014 to 2021. Now, I don't have the 22 attached to that, but it ain't changed either.
It ain't changed a bit.
No.
When everybody else's went up
Now,
this much.
you got this off of the tax assessors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's right here, guys. Black and white. It's right here.
That's what I said. Everything that I'm doing, everybody else can do.
Got
What
proof.
I'm seeing, they can see. They just got to take the initiative to look at it. And I'll tell you, that's corruption right there because they know it.
So, okay. So what's the call to action? All right, because we kind of got to wrap it up here a little bit. What's our call to action? Well, first of all, go over to the website, go over to the Facebook page, rather. Go over to the Facebook page that is Eliminate Property Tax in Jasper County. Okay? I think that's it. You can go sign the petition at change.org. You can message Alicia or Mr. Hillen. You can message them on Facebook, find out how you can sign off on that petition. Here's my encouragement. There needs to be a stand. Enough is enough. If you have over a $10,000 increase in your property tax, should it be if you've had that and you've done no upgrades, why don't all of those people who are $10,000 and above with no upgrades, why don't we all get together? We can create a support group, and at the same time, not just a support group, we can go down and we can raise 10 kinds of heck. See how I caught that, grandmas?
Proud of it.
See how I caught that, grandmas?
That way the
10 kinds of heck.
damn Baptists won't get on to you.
10 kinds of heck at the appraisal district. Because here's the thing. We can show up to your appraisal district, and you need to be in the face of every one of your commissioners. Commissioners Court is on the 21st, June 21st. Find out who your commissioner is. Go and talk to them. Find out and go to that meeting. Don't let this slide. This needs to be a show of force. And what I mean by that is a show of presence. Go down, everybody gather up. If there's 100 people who show up at Commissioner's Court, the truth is that'll be the first time 100 people's ever shown up to
Y'all
Commissioner's
better
Court.
be there with bells on, I'm telling you.
That's exactly right.
I can't do it on my own.
Well, you've done a lot. And so my thought is this. There needs to be, maybe between you and Mr. Hillen and some of the other people involved with the Eliminate Property Tax Facebook page, a little bit of organization toward a protest, an actual stand. And so here's the thing. We can only do what we can do here at Not on the Payroll. We can only voice what's out there and what's going on. But here's the thing. I think this is a worthy cause because in the long run, you might just be fighting for your kids' property in the future.
In the long run.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Miss Alicia, we appreciate you taking your time with us. Is there one last note that you want to end on?
Just that everybody needs to stand up and fight for their right. They need to, if they don't, nobody else is going to do it for you.
Right.
You know, this is your land, you're paying your taxes.
Right.
They ain't paying your taxes.
Right.
Don't be intimidated.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Who cares what they think about you because they ain't paying your taxes. They ain't paying your mama's taxes. They ain't paying your kids' taxes.
That's right.
That's just the way it is. Yeah, you might know them. You might go to church with them. They may be your friend, whatever, but they ain't paying your taxes. And this is up to each and every one of us because if each and every one of us chooses just to look away, turn the other cheek because we don't want to get involved,
Right.
we don't want to ruffle feathers, well, then ain't nothing going to change.
Right.
And we're going to keep renting from the government, and nobody's going to have a chance. Nobody's going to own their own land. The county's going to own it all.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And it's like Mr. Smith was talking about. I mean, you're getting priced out of property
Yeah.
in Roganville.
yeah,
In Roganville.
absolutely.
Roganville.
Well, Magnolia Springs, where I
Yeah,
live, you
yeah.
know, and like my youngest son, you know, he's engaged now, and a year or 2, 3 from now, they ain't gonna be able to afford nothing.
Yeah,
You know,
right,
even rent. That's why rent is so much, and it's important for renters too, because
To understand
exactly
that money's
that's
passing
why
down to
your
them.
rent's
Yeah.
going
Yes.
up $300 or $400
Yes.
because the people that
Yeah.
own that rental property, they gotta
They gotta
adjust.
pay.
Exactly.
They gotta pay taxes. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Not on the Payroll right here, KJS 107.3 FM. We hope you enjoyed the show. We have got more coming next week. If all goes well, I've got another petition that you need to take into consideration. But until then, get over to Eliminate Property Tax here in Jasper County. And hey, let's circle the wagons, ladies and gentlemen. All of you Yellowstone folks, let's circle the wagons and let's try to get this thing shut down. 100 people at the next Commissioner's Court, June 21st. Hey, grandmas out there, I think I did a pretty good job. I hope you love me. I hope you continue to pray for me because all we need is love and Jesus. So there's that, and our property taxes to go away.
Amen.
So, anyway, having said that, we appreciate you for tuning in. Go like, share, and subscribe. This is Not on the Payroll.
Thank y'all.
Love you, Bianna.
Thank y'all very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Glad you came in.
People still
Yes,
burning.
people